Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar, and in today's bass guitar lesson I want to show you an exercise called the spider walk and how it can improve your speed and accuracy in as little as 30 days. I'll see you inside the lesson. So unquestionably, there's one thing that I see holding beginner to intermediate bass guitar students back all of the time, and that is technique. Developing your speed and your accuracy so you can play the songs and bass lines you love properly. And there's normally one area when students practice technique where they fall down, and that is that they do not practice specific technique exercises for a long enough duration of time. In my experience, having now taught for well over 20 years, it normally takes about 30 days to see a significant improvement in your technique. So today I want to show you a device called the spider exercise, and if you implement this in your bass playing for at least 30 days, I guarantee you will see a significant improvement. But first off, I would love to know, what's your biggest technique challenge playing the bass guitar? Let me know in the comments below. So before I show you the spider walk exercise, I need to make sure you're super comfortable with the principles of the 1 finger per fret technique, because this is the absolute foundation we're working from. So what I'm going to show you here is another technique that I call curing the crab. So what I want you to do first of all is place your first finger on an A at the 5th fret on the E string like that, and then put down your second finger like so. Now the critical thing here is that the first finger remains touching the E string. I don't mind if you release the tension a little bit, that's perfectly okay, but what you don't want to happen is your first finger flies up like this. So this is all about remaining contact with the string. So once you're comfortable with those first 2 notes like that, we want to put down the 3rd finger like this, and we're playing just behind the fret here at all points. So now I have the 1st, 2nd and 3rd finger down, and critically I'm keeping contact with the string. I'm not letting my fingers fly up like that. This is sometimes called flying fingers. I've got another lesson on flying fingers, so make sure you check that out. So let's play the first 3 notes like this. And then naturally, this is the tougher one. We want to put down our 4th finger like that. So make sure we have contact with all of the string like so. And then I just want you to practice going up and down like that. Do this very slowly to begin with. And once you're really comfortable with that, you want to try going on to the next string. And then we go up like this, onto the A string. And then we come back down again. And that is the foundation. The next thing I suggest you do is just grab out a metronome. I've got one here, and just stick it on a relatively low tempo, like 80 beats per minute, and make sure you can play it solidly along in time with the click. 2, like this. Now what I've just shown you there is the principle of a rock solid bass guitar technique. If you've never practiced that before, I would simply practice that for at least 30 days and notice the improvement that you get in your left hand or your fretting hand technique. So if you need any further help with anything we've just covered there, make sure you grab my free Bass Players Action Pack, because there are specific lessons on there on how to build your speed and your accuracy and develop that 1 finger per fret technique, because this technique really is the foundation of so many great bass lines. The one I always demonstrate to my students is the rocky outro of Bohemian Rhapsody, which sounds like this. can see me clearly having to use all 4 fingers stretched over 4 frets, 1 finger per fret. So here is the legendary spider walk exercise, which is going to take what you've learned in the 1 finger per fret technique, or curing the crab, to the next level. There are plenty of variations on this, but this is the most foundational one that I teach all of my students. So what we want to do is take the 1 finger per fret technique and play this over 2 strings. So let me demonstrate this. So what we're going to do is we're going to play an A at the 5th fret on the E string like this, and then we're going to play the 2nd, 3rd, 4th fingers on the A string like this at the 6th, 7th and 8th fret respectively. So we get a pattern which sounds like this. So why this gets a little bit harder is because we have a slightly bigger stretch going on here now. And also with the right hand or plucking hand, we're going to have to do some string crossing. So things get a little bit more complex here. So let's play this first element of the spider walk exercise. And notice how once I play the note, I always keep my fingers attached or in contact with the string. So that's the first part of the spider walk exercise. Now the second part is we want to start on the 2nd finger on the E string at the 6th fret, and then we want to play the 1st, the 3rd and the 4th finger on the A string. So that's the 5th fret, the 7th fret and the 8th fret. So we end up with this pattern. And again, I'm keeping all of my fingers down once they've played them. And you can see there's a real stretch being created here, which builds your hand strength and your dexterity. So let's play those first 2 elements. Like that. You could always just simply walk through as well without actually playing the notes, just like that. That's perfectly good enough just to start building up the strength and the dexterity to begin with. So we got the first 2 patterns down. Now this is where it starts getting a little bit more challenging again. We're going to put the 3rd finger at the 7th fret on the E string, and then we're going to play the 1st, the 2nd and the 4th finger on the A string like this. So we end up with this pattern. Like that. So let's put the first 3 together now. And when you get to that point there, that stretch can get particularly hard. If you're finding it really hard to hold down the strings at this point, just practicing the fingering exercises in themselves will be really good, even if your fingers are coming off the string just like this. Like that. There's still a lot of value doing in this, but I'm kind of showing you the ultimate place where we want to take this exercise. So we've got the first 3 parts of it now down. Now to the 4th part. What do we want to do is put the 4th finger down, and then that's the 4th finger at the 8th fret on the E string. And then we want to go 1, 2, 3 like that. Now that you will really start to feel. That is quite sort of not uncomfortable, but takes a little bit of development, and it's perfectly doable as well, specifically if you start working over the 30-day period I've mentioned. So let's just take this really slowly from the beginning. Like that. And so that is the exercise. So what I want you to do is put on a metronome once you've got it comfortable. Let's go for 80 again and try that. So that is that. And I just want you to slowly, incrementally work up in speed. If that's too fast, slow it down to 50 or 60 BPM to begin with. Now, next stage of this is we can take this pattern and we can move it anywhere all over the neck. And this is why it's really, really powerful. So we could take it on to the D string like this. Like like that, and you'll notice that the technique feels different to play there using the upper two strings because the curvature of the wrist is a little bit different. So that is the legendary spider walk exercise, and everything I've shown you today is the foundation of a rock solid professional level technique. You'll see players like Marcus Miller, Victor Wooten, Pino Palladino using these one finger per fret techniques all of the time, and that's how they get the amazing speed and accuracy into their bass guitar playing. So what I would love to know is, would you like me to show more variations on the spider walk on the eBassGuitar channel so you can build your speed and accuracy too? Make sure you let me know in the comments, but also more importantly, make sure you subscribe to the eBassGuitar channel. There's a red button somewhere around this video because we release a lesson like this every single week designed to specifically build the skills of beginner to intermediate bass guitar players. So to wrap up this lesson, I want to show you where you can take the spider walk and show you an exercise from my essential walking bass course over at eBassGuitar, and this is called the spider fan, and this is great for navigating up and down the fretboard. So simply all we're going to do is take the one finger per fret technique. We're going to start it on a G here, and then we're going to take it out kind of diagonally across the neck. So we're going to put the second finger down at the 4th fret like that, but on the A string, and then we're going to put the 3rd finger down at the 5th fret on the G string, and then the 4th finger down at the 6th fret like that. So when I play this pattern, I will rock across like that. I'm trying to hold my fingers down all of the time, or just keep them in contact specifically there to really keep it under control. So this is the first part, like that. And then the second part of it is we're going to put the first finger at the B flat like that at the 3rd fret, second finger at the F sharp on the D string, third finger at the D on the A string, and then 4th finger at the B flat on the E string like that. So we've kind of reversed the pattern, so we have like this. Okay, now that is very, very tricky. So this is the first part, and this will really build your strength as well. So the great thing is, once we've got the foundation of the spider fan down, is we can start taking it up and down the neck. So let me show you this in action to finish up the lesson. So guys, that's the end of today's bass guitar lesson. If you've enjoyed this lesson on the spider walk, there are 2 more videos I would love you to check out. The first is called How to Stop Flying Fingers, which is all about developing the left hand or fretting hand technique. And the second one is called Curing the Crab, which is another great technique lesson too. Both of those have links in the description below. Also, if you want to push your technique forward right from the ground upwards, make sure you jump over to eBassGuitar and check out the Essential Technique course inside the Bass Lab Plus. Again, there's a link in the description below where you can take that free for a spin for 14 days. Cheers, I've been James from eBassGuitar.com. I'll catch you next week.